Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's like the final moments right before the season is about to end, and I'm just sitting here on my Fireball account with about like 5,900 trophies by the end of the season. So yeah, all our attacks are in, all our defenses are in. This is where we're going to be at by the end of the season, and I think that's not too bad considering we have completely avoided Root Riders and we've taken some breaks here and there. So yeah, as always, I think I'll just show you guys some tutorials on how you can tackle some bases in higher legend league, and just some mistakes that you can avoid potentially, and just a way to take down a lot of annoying base styles that you find. So as always, you can find the RB link in the description. Nothing's gonna change over there. You can also see what I have on my heroes in terms of their pets and their equipments. And yeah, that's about it. Let's just get into some attacks for you guys. Alright, so these are the type of bases you usually find in higher legends, at least mid to higher legends. It's just a lot of anti-2 style bases, and it's between like double invis bases or maybe like some sort of like rage setup. And you can see over here, it's a very spread out base, and you're probably already wondering like this should be very obvious, right? Like if I just get a fireball on the builder hut, I'll be able to grab like this entire area, and that's it. That sets up the entire base to be taken down very easily. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be very greedy with the fireball, because if you want to actually approach this builder hut, look at how much you have to like get rid of, so that you can get your fireball to actually target the builder hut. So it's a lot of time that you're going to have to invest, and more importantly, you're not going to be able to get the value from your angry jelly. So just do be mindful of that, and you'll see over here I am starting actually more so on the left. I don't want to really fight the enemy king right up, and that's about it. I really don't want to fight the enemy king, so instead I just went for slightly lesser value over here. If I got the fireball on the warden statue, I would still get most of this compartment out, which is good for me. I don't need much more than that. Sure, I think the fireball will affect the scatter shot as well over here, but I'm not too concerned about that. Like, I just want to make a huge hole in the middle of the base over here, and it's like just a very dangerous area for any of my heroes to really go to. And since this entire army is just the power of heroes, I need to make it so that I can actually get the most out of my own heroes. So yeah, you can see exactly what we've done over here. Fireball just quickly takes out the core, and I noticed that my warden is walking off to the right over here. So now what do? Since I know my warden is going to walk to the right, I might as well just sacrifice a siege machine to go ahead and grab the scatter shot. Like, it's fine. Like, I just need some value from it. I don't really expect too much from my siege machine at this point, and that's fine, because look at what my warden has already done, and the fact that he's actually going to keep going on over here and remain safe. That is all I need. Like, that's the beauty of this army. He remains a weapon that still gets used, and his value is not over yet. Like, he's still a walking weapon, and that's about it. So over here you can see I'm just kind of like opening up this hole that was made a bit more. Warden is naturally going to the right, and my flame flinger will go to the left. And sure, my flame flinger will die to the enemy royal champion, but you know what, it's fine. That's my cue to even maybe join with my own royal champion or my king. As for my queen, I decided to just send her completely opposite of where my warden is starting on this one. No specific reason. It's just like this is all literally trash buildings, but like there is some damage that you have to go through while fighting most of it. So I thought, why not? I can just queen charge the entire area, and depending on how she goes, I can actually play it by ear. I can decide to use my king or my royal champion however I want. And you can see I am being very patient. I am not very sure of where my queen is going to go just yet, and that's fine. Like, I am now now what I've done is I just noticed like, okay, warden has pretty much gotten his value, and my queen is more or less taking this trajectory where she can clear the defenses in this area for me. And all that does is it really allows me to send my royal champion to just go ahead and take out the town hall for me. No worries at all. So yeah, I've also dropped that skeleton spell in front of the monolith, and more or less my queen is walking towards this area, right? So I'm not too concerned about her. Just gonna give her a few wall breaks and let her do whatever she can do best. So I also misplaced this rage spell over here, but you can see how this base is slowly but surely collapsing. Like, It's not too difficult once you get the value from each of your heroes accordingly. And yeah, like my flame flinger died early, but like it's not too much of an issue. Like my king is just gonna have nowhere else to go except to help remove this entire area on the left side of the base. So and that's good enough for me. I don't really need much more from him. If you can just do a little bit of that, for me it's all good. Like my royal champion is already taking care of most of the core anyway, and I'm literally just sprinkling in super barbarians to help clean up at this point. Like I don't need anything more from any of them, and I still have my queen ability as well. And you can already see like keeping my warden and my queen going all the way to the end. The only problem you could possibly face is just a time fail in that case, but I guess the main takeaway from this specific attack is don't be very greedy with your fireball. Try to analyze how you can get the most out of your angry jelly and then just adapt on the fly. That is the beauty of this attack. You don't have to necessarily always have your warden walk in a specific location. Even if he went on to the left over here, what I could have done is I could have just started a queen charge going on over here, and it's just so easy to adapt very easily depending on how each of your heroes just decide to move. And yeah, you also have a very flexible seed choice as well, so that does help us out. Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. All right, another, as I was saying, like it's just all anti-two style bases, and over here we actually have a very tricky invis tower waiting for us in the middle of the base. So once again, you can see that this base is just incredibly spread out. There's no particularly great fireball value anywhere on this base, except the core itself, right? Maybe you can try to get a fireball to somehow deal good damage to these areas, but I firmly believe that these are good spots for your king and your queen to maybe come in. It's a waste to use your fireball over there. Sure, you could do it, but I feel like there are better ways that you can use your own fireball. And yeah, over here you're just gonna see I'm gonna do something very interesting. I'm actually just gonna do a normal like warden charge practically. I'm not gonna be using my fireball for an extended period of time. So what that means is I'm just going to try to find a good place for my warden to pretty much start warden walking. And you can see over here he is pretty much set up to start going towards the bottom of this base like this. And all I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to prioritize the eagle while making sure he can abuse his angry jelly by getting some heavy hitting targets out of the way very early into the attack. So yeah, very simple. Just with like one invis spell, he's gonna go ahead and remove this ricochet cannon and expo compartment all by himself, and he's gonna deal with the clan castle all alone in peace, just like nothing's gonna stop him. So here's where the advanced trick comes, right? Like I haven't used my fireball yet, but I do realize that I cannot wait to use my fireball until much later and then start the rest of my heroes. So to that extent, I know that my warden is now relatively safe. Like he has some time before he gets into damage, and all I have to do is just be careful of when he's about to go ahead and start attacking the enemy warden. That is all I need to be careful of, and yeah, that's about it. So as of now, I am more or less prepared to just start multitasking for about like 30 seconds or so, I would say. And as I was saying before, I do believe like these compartments are just very strong compartments for your queen to charge and your own barbarian king to go ahead and just easily grab. And you'll also notice I haven't even used my siege machine yet. So you can already see how I'm setting this up. I've got two wall breakers going on over here, and as I was talking about, like I'm not even using my fireball. This is just a trick that I want to show you guys. So I'm I'm just emphasizing it so much. But yeah, I have started my queen, and the warden is just pretty much chilling. Like there's no damage on him. There's almost like no damage on him whatsoever. So this gives me absolute freedom to just go ahead and start working on my own queen charge and my own king. So just as a precaution, I have given my warden a rage spell. You'll notice I haven't even taken the efforts to worry about this invis tower area. I've just given him a rage spell as a precaution, just so that I can get some time to start multitasking. This is also an important thing that you can start doing in your own attacks. If you feel like you want to start your if you want to start your attack other parts of the attack early, and you don't want to like keep an eye on your warden, drop a rage, especially when you know he's not in too much of trouble, like such as like he's not fighting any enemy heroes or something like that. It's damage that he can handle with just a rage spell. Just go ahead and do that. Drop a rage spell and just completely forget about him. And now that I have had time to kind of like look back at my queen and king to realize, okay, they are safe as well. Like you can see, like I know my queen is safe. She has her own rage spell. The entire compartment is gone. The king has also pretty much gotten this entire compartment all by himself, no spells needed for him at all as well. That is when I realized, okay, you know what? I can just go ahead and fireball the entire Invis core compartment I was talking about, and look at that. There's just nothing left on this base, like literally. So this queen is just literally freely charging, and I have just dropped a skeleton spell with the drill and the royal champion on the left side over here. Because what is gonna stop this? Like literally the entire base has just disappeared all of a sudden. What seemed like such a menacing base has just immediately vanished. And this is just a way in which you can deal with some annoying anti-2 style bases, especially if there are no rage towers on them. It becomes very easy to multitask like this. Just try to find that good spot such that your warden is not dealing with too much of damage at once. And if you want to start multitasking, go ahead, just drop a rage spell on him, forget about him for a while, and just do whatever else you want with the rest of your heroes. So you probably noticed, like, I didn't even pay attention for him on him for like 20 seconds or so, and even after 20 seconds I just dropped a rage spell on him and just ignored him for like another 10 seconds. And that time is so precious for you. It easily allows you to go ahead and make the base smaller and smaller, making it easier for your royal champion to finish the job, and just that much more easy for you to get your cleanup going and avoid time fills. So I would say that's a very interesting one. We probably held a fireball for half of the attack, but that did not stop us from kind of attacking the base on all sides from at the same time, you could say. It seems very difficult to multitask like this, and that's why I'm trying to break it down for you guys in a tutorial like fashion like this, and I hope you guys can definitely take this into your attacks. That being said, sure, we'll move on to I think two more replays for you guys. So let's just do that. Alright, so here are some new double invis style bases that are coming up, not necessarily very heavily packed towards the core, so as to say, but they try to keep the biggest defenses kind of on the flanks of the bases. And you'll see there are some box bases as well of this style that are coming up very recently to counter the Root Rider meta. And I'm not sure how well they work, but I am going to try a base style like this season. So yeah, we have our fireball, and I think it should be obvious what to do with our fireball on this one. But how do we deal with the second invis tower compartment, right? It's just so much of damage to deal with, and it could be very difficult. Honestly, it could be very difficult, especially with how difficult it is to funnel anything into this compartment, right? So I'm just going to show you how I begin this attack. Like, it should be very obvious that it's free, right? Like, I can just go ahead and get a fireball on this entire compartment and nothing's going to stop me. Like, literally, it's just the freest value ever. And the only problem is if you have the Angry Jelly equipped, he is going to walk around so weird. He's literally gonna ignore so many things and just walk right into danger. So be ready with protective spells like invis spells or free spells, something of the sort, and just observe, okay, he's going up, he's going down, and accordingly, that is your cue to start funneling for your queen. So over here, I noticed my warden started going towards the top of this base, and that is all I need to know. I need to send my queen starting from the bottom of this base one way or the other. So to that extent, I am starting to funnel out over there. And yeah, I'm just going to let my warden do his thing up. You can see I'm not worried about him. He's not going to step into too much of danger over here. But once again, that question, how do we deal with the second invis tower? And you already can see an answer over here. Because I don't carry a log launcher in this army. I am going to start carrying the log launcher very soon after my clan castle finishes upgrading to counter this style of base. And all I'm trying to do is I'm just sacrificing my siege machine so I can go ahead and trigger this invis tower. And don't forget, we have super barbarians. Unlike, I guess, Itsu's army where he uses rocket balloons, it is very easy to create a very tight funnel. So even if it seems like nothing's gonna go in there, all you need is to deploy a few super barbarians, and look at that. Our king has nowhere else to go except that core, and his giant gauntlet is going to absolutely just break the entire invis tower compartment, no problems at all. No spells needed for him. Nothing's gonna stop him. It's all way too compact. And yeah, that's already more than enough value. Like, what is even left on this base? It's just a monolith, the eagle, and the town hall. That is literally it. So yeah, it's just a bunch of trash down over here for our queen to deal with. And you can already see this is just so easy to converge upon. And I am literally just dropping the rest of my resources wherever help could possibly need it to just help myself speed this up a little bit more. I'm not too worried about anything at all. Literally, the only thing left is the Town Hall, but I have two of my hero abilities left as well as a rage spell. So literally nothing's gonna stop me, nothing to be worried about, and it's just a matter of just kind of taking down the buildings one at a time before the time runs out. So yeah, I think it's fairly obvious what to do with your fireball, but in case you guys do struggle with this style of base, here's a neat trick that you can use if you don't carry a log launcher that I do. Your drill is definitely a nice siege machine that you can use to just go ahead and snipe maybe a little bit of damage out over here and get that invis tower triggered for free. It is obviously easier with a log launcher, and I would definitely prefer doing that in the future. But you guys will get to see that only after my clan castle is upgraded. So very very easy way of doing it. Once again, just we created a hole. The fireball, the warden started going up on the base, and that means our queen has to go down on the base over here. And that's it. That's the entire principle of the attack. After that, it's just a matter of using your siege, your king, and your royal champion, depending on the situation as it depends it. So yeah, very very easy triple once you know the trick, and we'll just do one more attack for you guys and call this one a wrap. All right. This is the other style of in double inverse base, and you can see it is a combination of an anti-2 style base as well as having the double inverse to just protect the entire core. So for this, usually I think I covered it in a recent video as well, but I just like to directly attack one of the invis towers, that is like this area, so as to say. And over here I'm going to aim for the corner where the clan castle is there. So I'm going to have my fireball go for the multi inferno over here, because just removing the clan castle is such a huge help. It not only removes the possibility of having to deal with ice golems, but it also allows you to use your poison spell for enemy heroes when you cannot time a headhunter correctly. So just a very very I guess it's like very large value that your fireball can go ahead and grab for you. So that's something you should go ahead and keep an eye out for. So you'll probably even notice that in some attacks over here, if the value in terms of defense itself is not high, usually I try to go ahead and even grab the clan castle out as well if it is possible. So yeah, just one small thing to keep in mind, and you can just see how I decide to take this base down as well. Like, what can you even do to go ahead and get a fireball to target so deep in the core? There's just so much to cut away at. So how do I even do this? Like, how do I even manage to make sure that the fireball actually targets that multi inferno waiting for me in the core? So let's just like give my warden some time, because like it's obvious, like I need to start the warden on the right hand side of this base in order to do that. And you'll also see like the left scatter shot is free on this one, so might as well just grab the scatter shot with a flame flinger. It doesn't matter too much to me that the flame flinger is not going to survive much longer after that. It is just going to grab that value that I require to make my life easier for my heroes, and that's it. That's the end of it. That's all I really need from it. After that, the Yetis are kind of going to remain like tanky kind of troops for the rest of my heroes, and I am happy with that. So you can see over here, Warden also easily sniped out the enemy royal champion, and he is going to walk a bit like towards like the bottom of this base. And right over here, I know that compared to, like, if you compare the distance of these three defenses, right, I guess you would mark the air defense as closest, then the multi inferno, and then this air defense. So I waited for him to clear out this entire compartment, and look at that, just one invis spell. Make sure I'm only covering defenses so that he doesn't awkwardly retarget to anything else. He still has these elixir storages. At the bottom of the base to go towards, and that is all you need. Like, he doesn't start walking around all weird, and he can continue along his path and just do whatever wardens do best while they have the rage aura around them with 5 healers backing them as well. So as soon as I popped the fireball and I know he was going down, you guys saw I already started my queen at the top of the base. Same principle, create a hole, warden's going this way, okay fine, we have our queen going towards the top of the base, nothing else to worry about. Drop the skeleton spell, rage spell, forget about the queen now. And you can already see I just created a funnel like this, and I just want my king to go on over here, and I'm just kind of making them tag team. Because my flame flicker has already removed the entire left side over here, so all that's really left is for me to kind of clear out this side of the base, and my warden is going here anyway. And you know what that means, like, it just means that the town hall is literally the very last thing for us to really deal with. And look at that, like, the queen's frozen arrow is just so good. for her to go solo like this. She can just easily overwhelm defenses that she goes through, and it's really, really that simple. So we saved our wall breakers to make sure she can really punch into the core. And yeah, this one last invis tower is really, really not going to do anything for us. Like, you can already see this base is just done. It's like absolutely dusted. And look at the resources I have left at the bottom over here. It's like so silly. All you need to know is the tricks you can use to push your fireball very deep into the core like that. And I think I've covered a few examples very well in this video. So I really hope that you guys do try this out for yourselves. It's a very, very powerful army. For this one, we didn't even have to use a royal champion and a few spells, so I'll take that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.